You guys had a complete changeover in your legislative delegation, and we did really, really well. About $9.8 million is what I've gotten. You had about another 500,000 vetoed. That's remarkable. To survive a session like this was difficult. And there are many communities out there that didn't really survive a session like this. But to thrive in a session like this is just unheard of.
All four of us in your delegation are all freshmen, and we probably passed 20% of the bills. We worked very, very well together. I'm very blessed to have this delegation to work with. All four of us bring something unique. We have different backgrounds, and we were able to be tremendously successful for St. Johns County. Even times when I remember I was working the IGP appropriations request, and we're like, oh, it would help to have letters of support. Instantly, in one day, I reached out to the chamber, I reached out to our commissioners, I reached out to our sheriff. Boom, letters of support were in our inbox. That's just what makes us special. I've always said we're a big, small town. We have all the benefits of a big city, but we have that small town feel.
Being a legislator, in some cases you're on the offensive, you're going and you're pushing things and you're trying to get things done, like the Black History Museum, and sometimes you're on the defensive. And so the way that works is you start to get phone calls when you have relationships with the governor's office. You start to get phone calls to say, what's important to you. Here's some things that we think could be on the chopping block, and what don't you like. You kind of go through that process, and through that process and through the relationships with the governor, we were able to get it so that the only surviving funding request for a Black History Museum is yours.
This is important to our community because it brings in more tourist dollars. It also goes through the history of our community, and St. Johns County being the oldest county in America, the oldest city in America. I've been downtown where there are families who are taking maps and are going to all the different things, the first Catholic church in the country, the first this, the first that. I mean, it's amazing what we have here.
We all got together and stopped the Guana land swap. Florida Audubon said last year, 39,000 people signed the petition to stop the state park issue. And this year with Guana, we had 50,000 people sign the petition.
So they work really hard. Our team works very hard in St. Johns County. Our board, who is here too, works very hard to try to bring in extra money in any manner that we can. And of course, we got to get the infrastructure going. And we did get some money for State Road 16, and we have 42 active transportation projects, over $205 million that are currently in design or the construction phase. And as you know, 4 parks.
We certainly have benefited from Senator Leek's experience in the House, and we're going to continue to work together and continue to grow in the legislature. So what we were able to produce this year is a building block that we're going to continue to work on, and we look forward to working with all of you as we continue to provide results for St. Johns County.